Hello! Did you like the view of my roots? Just gonna hang on here for a second and wait for you guys to pop on, you gals and guys to pop on here. And we're gonna discuss what was put underneath my announcement that I'm going live today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, and that is Denise's live. Yes, is the trauma bonding and the anxiety and the worries when abandonment in relationships and broken promises. So that is what I'm going to talk about today. I have it written down. I don't know why I had to go and look at it. So welcome everybody. I know right now in the world, the energy feels heavy. I know that. And I'm going to talk about that as well, of what you can do to raise your vibration, to feel better about, just better inside. It's really important for you to take care of yourself and what's going on, right? It's really the same thing. It's the same advice that I would give to you coming out of these relationships. Because when you're in these types of relationships, there is a heaviness to it. There's this heavy energy to it. There's this, right? So it's really the same advice. So it goes for both. So use it for both. If you don't know me, my name is Denise Kavalauskas, and I am a women's transformational coach. I also help men, specializing in healing after these toxic relationships, abusive relationships. Narcissistic abuse especially is what my specialty is. And so today I put in our group that I was going live today, and what are you struggling with? And here's what I got: trauma bond, anxiety, worries, abandonment in relationships, and broken promises. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. So let's start with trauma bonding. So I want to read this to you because I want the definition of what trauma bonding is very clear to you, because you may have been through this and not even know it. That was me. I didn't know what trauma bonding was. I didn't know that I had experienced it time and time again. And so when I heard trauma bond, initially, I kind of dismissed it because it didn't apply to me. I don't even know what you're talking about. So that's why I want to make it abundantly clear to you of what it is, so that you understand that if maybe you have gone through this, maybe you haven't, I don't know. But I just want you to know what it is. So this is a type of toxic bond that occurs between, it occurs between the abuser, when the abuser alternates between creating highs and lows within the relationship. Okay, so like a news email that I just put out the other day, I was talking about how I was addicted to the highs and lows, mainly the highs in my relationship, not knowing that I was in the trauma bonding. Okay, so the highs and lows within the relationship, and offers a reward or a punishment as the narcissist deems fit. Okay, so they will train the victim. I really don't like that word, because you're not a victim. You're not a victim. It's fitting for what we're talking about, but I never ever want you to see yourself as a victim, because you are strong. You've survived this relationship, which makes you so strong. Okay, but we'll use it, in the context of this. Okay, so they will train the victim that happiness is solely dependent on how well they can serve and please. If you're here, you've been in this type of relationship. And if you've been in this type of relationship, you know exactly how this goes, right? So this bond can here's the important part, can outlive the relationship. Okay, so leaving you craving comfort from every person who hurt you. It also will most likely, I'm not going to put everybody in the same category, but most likely will have you fall into another relationship like this, where you're craving this attention, the highs from this person, and just kind of recreate the relationship that you came out of. Okay, so that's trauma bonding. Okay, so let's talk about, if you've been through trauma bonding, what to do now. Again, just like I was saying before, when you have come out of these types of relationships, it is 100% so vitally important for you to give yourself extreme self-care. Extreme. Okay? So let's talk about self-care for a second. What are the things that you can do that exhibit self-care? Like literally taking care of yourself, pampering yourself, pleasuring yourself, like all the things that light you up and make you happy, all the things that you enjoy. Maybe it's the things that you used to enjoy that you haven't done for so long, and now you're able to do that for yourself. So what does that look like? So, you know what's really good is an Epsom salt bubble bath. An Epsom salt bath. You could light some candles, you can put on some whatever music that you love and just relax in this Epsom salt bath, okay? Or any of the bath bombs that they call, the bath bombs, maybe your favorite scent, like rose or lavender. That is a great example of self-care, extreme self-care. Okay, another one is anything that raises your vibration is what I'm going to talk about. Anything that raises your vibration is going to be self-care. So, getting out in nature, taking a walk or going to your favorite park or whatever it is for you that you enjoy, taking your dog to the dog park, but getting out in nature and connecting with nature. So I'm going to give you a few grounding tips. If you don't know what grounding is, it's basically you connecting to Mother Earth and grounding yourself. Because when we've been in these relationships, boop, 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 we're out of balance. We're not in alignment. We're out of balance. So grounding yourself kind of brings you back. I really knew that if I did this live, I should have put my 2 fur babies in the crate. But I said, oh, she's over there in my meditation pillow and she's sleeping. Okay, getting back to the topic. Nature, connecting with nature. So even you can ground yourself by just walking outside in your front yard or your backyard. For me, I live on 4 acres of woods behind me. So I have lots of trees around me, lots of nature around me. So what I do is I will go outside barefoot and just stand in the grass barefoot and just close my eyes and do some breathing. And I just like get my body, I visualize my body in alignment, all my chakras in alignment. I just relax. And basically what I do is I do like, I guess you could call it meditation, to where I'm cleansing and clearing from my crown chakra all the way down and taking any energy that doesn't serve me and giving it back, pushing it down my body and giving it back to Mother Earth. So it comes out through my feet and down into Mother Earth. Thank you, Angela. I saw that. Thank you. And pushing it down into Mother Earth, giving it back to the earth. Okay. This is another example of raising your vibration and also some extreme self-care for you. Okay. Let's now go on to anxiety. Anxiety and worries. Here's where anxiety comes from. Your thoughts. So the body responds, everything that your body has is exhibiting. So health issues, health scares, anything is 100% coming from your thoughts. Your thoughts create and manifest into your body. So any heart issues, any autoimmune things that you may possibly are going through, any pain, chronic pain, back pain, headaches, anxiety, depression, stomach issues, all of it comes from your thoughts, okay? Anxiety is a big one for thoughts, okay? Because anxiety is the thoughts that you're thinking like ahead. So for example, I'm let's say 45 years old and I should have X, Y, and Z, but I don't. So that brings on anxiety. Or perfect example, I shouldn't be going through all of this emotional pain in these relationships. This is my 4th relationship, or this is my 3rd marriage, and I feel like a loser. This is like things that you feel like you should have accomplished already is anxiety. Depression is going back. It's the running story that you have in your head, in your subconscious mind, of what happened to you in the past, right? It's behind the stories, the old stories. That's anxiety and depression. So how do you eliminate the anxiety and the worries? Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to get a hold and control your thoughts. Okay? I know this may not be, I know it's easier said than done. I know that. I was there. I remember when I first heard this and I was like, really? But it is possible. It is 100% doable. For you to get control, there's a red cardinal bird right outside my window. It is 100% possible for you to do this, okay? Baby steps count too. Baby steps count too. So every little step that you take is a step towards where you want to be. So here's what you can do. When you catch yourself in a negative cycle, thinking something negative, thinking of a past experience that you had that was sad or disempowering, I want you to do something. You could clap. You could clap it out. This is the body changing the thought. Okay, so you could. I use clap. Do whatever you want, and then change that thought. This is how everybody does it. There's no like secret hidden way of how to change your thoughts. Everybody started this way. We all started with having these negative thoughts or disempowering thoughts or whatever, and we one by one started to change it. Through practice, this will eventually turn into you having more positive thoughts than you having negative thoughts, okay? Hold on one second. Is there a way that I can mute you? I wonder, because, all right, look at the top of my Buddha head for a second. Lay down. Okay. Good Lord have mercy. It's just a day in the life here. Okay. So we were talking about anxiety and worries. So that's how you can do that. I know this sounds easier, saying it easier than to be done, but it is possible 100%. I promise you it is possible. Okay, so now let's move on to abandonment in relationships. Oof. So abandonment relationships, if you've attracted abandonment in relationships, like let's talk about your adult relationships, it is stemmed from feeling abandoned in childhood. Maybe mom or dad either physically wasn't there for you, or maybe mentally wasn't there for you. But there was some type of abandonment that you felt as a child growing up And then what happened is you manifested that into your adult relationships. And really, this is how it all goes for everything in our relationships. It's like how we felt, how we interpret things happening in our childhood, we carried, unless we heal it, we carry it into our adult life. So what you have to do is you have to work on you feeling whole and complete, that you are not abandoned. So here's what's coming up for me for you. First thing that I want you to know is you're never alone. You're never alone. You're never alone. Because you have, not only do you have you, your higher self, you, okay, but you are always surrounded by your angels and your guides. Always. You're always surrounded by your angels and your guides. You can always talk to them. You can always reach out for help from them. You're never alone. So in reality, you've never been abandoned because you've always had you and your angels and guides. Maybe that's some, a little esoteric for some of you, but it's true. And the ego is the one who creates this feeling of abandonment. Okay, the ego is the one that says, oh, so-and-so left you, so now let's recreate that, because it's familiar. It's familiar. Even if you don't like it, it's familiar. And so we recreate it when we're in adulthood, and it's something that we know how to handle and deal with. Same with these toxic relationships. That's one of the biggest reasons why we keep recreating them, is because it's familiar. And the ego likes to go back to the comfort zone. And even as you may be saying, Denise, that's not comfortable. That's crappy. But this is how it goes, right? The ego feels like it's comfortable. It's something that you've dealt with, you're used to, and that's what the ego does. The ego is always trying to pull you into what is familiar, what is comfort for you. Like one of the reasons why I talk about how even in dysfunctional relationships, we get comfortable in the dysfunctional relationships because we know how to handle these dysfunctional relationships. We keep getting or attracting these toxic relationships and these toxic men or these toxic women because we know how to handle. It's familiar because we have a toxic parent or we were shown these toxic relationships. Okay. Thank you for that. Like, I don't know who gave it to me, but thank you. All right, down to broken promises. Let's talk about broken promises. Again, this is heartbreak. This is something that, again, happened in childhood, whether it was something really small, like maybe you were promised, I don't know, you were promised that if you got a good grade on your report card or your paper, you'll get X, Y, and Z, like a day trip or a lollipop or whatever it was. And that didn't fall through. So you held up your end of the bargain, right? You did good on the class or the paper or whatever, the grade, but whoever promised you this didn't follow through. And so this is where you interpreted this. Yes, Becky. Hello, Becky. I miss you so much. I hope you're doing well. Mwah! I love you. This is how, when we interpret things from a child, that we carry on into adulthood, right? So as a child, especially if you're sensitive, this is really key to really know yourself if you're highly sensitive, which there's nothing wrong with being highly sensitive. If you're an empath, it is a beautiful gift that you are. I don't want you to look at it as anything but this beautiful gift that you are. So empaths are highly sensitive. If you were a highly sensitive child and somebody broke their promise to you, as little or as big as it was, and you were crushed, you were heartbroken, right? And then you go into this blaming yourself. Maybe I didn't do it good enough. Maybe it's not exactly what they wanted, blah, 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 the ego, going down this funnel. That's how, again, these broken promises that were done to you or shown to you as a child, you carry into your adult relationships. Okay, so again, it is something that you're familiar with that hasn't been healed, because every toxic person that shows up in your life is simply just showing you the unhealed part of you. That's all it is, right? That's why I talk about like how to heal from these relationships so that you can look at the toxic person as the gift that they truly are. Okay, so like I could talk about the crappiest, worst ex-husband ever. I'm still no contact with him since 2012. I could talk about like how he abused me and how he gave me STDs and how he physically was fighting with me when I was like 8 months pregnant with our first child and slammed me on the bed, or how he, when he was on drugs and after he attempted suicide, how he pushed my head into the dining room table and was like, you know, being violent with me, and my teenage son had to pull him off. I could talk about that all day long, and I could bash him all day long. What good does that do for me, right? What good does that do for my children, for me to sit here and bash about their dad? So it is highly beneficial for you to heal from these experiences that you've had and look at your ex, or maybe it was your parents or whoever the toxic person was in your life. And maybe this is a little ahead of time, but as the gift that they are for showing up in your life, so that you could learn about yourself. That's what it's all about. That's what life is all about. Life is just one string of learning lessons. Just one string of learning lessons, right? But once you learn and you heal from that one thing, you'll never recreate that again. Okay? So like I healed from the toxic relationships. Narcissistic people don't bother me. Like even when I notice somebody's being narcissistic, whether it's on TV or if I meet them in person, they don't bother me at all. I'm not triggered by them at all. At all. My husband now, Ray, his father, who's now passed, was very narcissistic. There was no triggers inside of me. Dealing with him, talking to him, I was still kind and respectful to him, and I had a love for him. Okay, so this is what is possible for you. When you heal from these toxic relationships, you're never triggered by the narcissistic person, even if it's like on TV or somebody who's whatever. That won't bother you. That won't bother you. That's what life is about. It's a string of learning lessons. Okay, so I have two things that I want to that I'm working on that I want to talk to you about. One is I'm going to be doing a 3-day challenge. It's called Love Again Challenge. It is for those of you who are ready to love again, but it's also for those of you who are not ready to love again, because what I teach, you can both people can use. So the person who's ready to love again and get into a relationship and ready to like give your heart again, right? If you're ready to heal and get rid of like the feelings of, am I going to screw it up this time? Is this guy real? All of those things. It is for you. It's also for the one who's not quite ready to love again, because everything begins and ends with you. So all of my teachings focus on you. They focus on you. Healing the relationship that you have with you, because it is the most important and the longest relationship that you're ever going to be in. So it's for both people. The other thing that I'm working on is I've revamped my free gift. So I was just looking at my free gift and I was like, holy crap, the last time I did it was like 2019, June, I think, or July 2019. I was like, got to redo this. So I'm redoing the whole landing page, the whole entire thing. I did new videos. And basically what it is, it's going to be a mini video series of just me, kind of doing what I'm doing now, giving you information, tips on how to heal from the toxic relationship. So once those links are ready, I will share them with you. The 3-day challenge, Love Again, is going to be next week, I believe. I think I picked 23, 24, 25 January, something like that, along those lines. I'm getting that link ready and everything ready for you to click, and then you just put your email, your name and your email address, and then you're in for the 3-day challenge. And I'm so excited to do this with you because I love challenges. So let me talk about challenges for just a second because I don't want to go too long here. One of the reasons to do a challenge is for you, and that's why we do like 3-day, 5-day, 7-day, is about commitment. This is really, really, really important for you to know, because when you can stay committed to you, this is, remember, everything begins and ends with you. So if you can stay committed to you, this is how you will attract somebody who will stay committed to you. I see a lot of women that don't stay committed and then wonder why they can't find a committed partner. It's because if you're not committed to you and your growth and your healing and the love for you, how will you attract somebody who's committed to you, right? It's like, if you don't love and adore yourself, how can you expect somebody to love and adore you, right? So when I do these 3-day challenges, it's the reason why it's called challenge is to kind of like show up, stay committed, stay on the course, stay on the path of you learning how to heal from these toxic relationships, these toxic cycles and patterns in the past, okay? So those are the 2 things that I have coming up. I'm so excited. I almost have it all complete. I'm working on both of them at the same time. Crazy me. So as soon as I have those links ready, I will share them with you in the group, and I'll tell you, hey guys, this is what I was talking about. Here's the 3-day challenge. Or hey, here's the free gift offer that I was telling you about that I revamped. I'll give you a little description of what it is. So in the meantime, if you are like, Denise, I am so ready to like heal this and work on myself so that I can attract real love, true love. I'm going to put an application link in the comments below. You just click on that. It's a, I don't know, 5 questions or something like that to apply for a Heal Your Heart session with me. There's no charge for this session. It is purely just me getting to know you and what your needs are and where you're at. And then I'm going to give you some support around that. And then at the end of the call, if it feels like a fit, I will share an offer with you. Oh, you're welcome, Mary. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? If it feels like a fit, I'll share an offer with you. If not, it's totally okay. There's no charge for this call. So I'll put the link for the application in the comments below. Also, if you know anybody who could use this information, who needs this information, please invite them into the group. Invite them into the group, invite them to the 3-day challenge. Maybe if they're not on Facebook, you could copy and paste the link for the 3-day challenge for them so that they can work on themselves too and start. Because here's the thing, you guys, oh my gosh, you deserve abundant love. You deserve to be treated like a queen. You deserve to have every single desire that you hold inside of you. And you can have that. You can have that. It's all yours. It's waiting for you. And I am so excited to share that with you. All right, my loves. I love you so much. Thanks for watching. I'll post a link, like I said, in the comments below. And when the other 2 links are ready, I will share them with you. Happy Saturday.